Welcome back to the Awakening Potential Show. It's your gateway to the extraordinary. I'm your host, Karen Rudolph, and I'm here to support you in stepping into your sassy confidence, your classy wisdom, and your bold, badassy brilliance. Because awakening your potential isn't just a moment, it's a movement. And here we dive into powerful stories, soul-searching, stirring tools, and game-changing strategies that spark transformation in your life, in your work, and in the world around you. So grab a notebook, open your heart, and let's light that inner spark. I am so excited today to introduce someone who truly embodies this journey on so many different levels. Our guest, Harrison Klein, who is a genius, an entrepreneur, a spiritual teacher, a woman's advocate. He's the CEO of Evolution Consultant, helping top producers, CEOs, and leaders leverage small shifts in self-image to bigger, better results. Uh, He's featured as an expert in the upcoming movies, The Frequency of Miracles, The Art of Manifestation, where we'll be playing together. I'm excited about that. And Men Speaking. He's also the author of the hit book, Badassy Bitches of History. I can't wait to hear more about that and his new TV series to the same. So let us welcome Harrison Klein. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, Karen. Thank you. I'm very pleased and honored and humbled that you would have me come. So very cool. And I wanted to give a shout out to the fact that we were together in the Hamptons and that, you have interviewed my spouse and, we're doing some great things together and, how much I admire and am humbled by, your request for me to appear on here. And I can't say enough good things about you. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll receive that today for sure.
Okay.
It's so interesting you say that because it's how I feel about you both. And after meeting you both, I'm just fascinated. The more we're together, we were in the car over the weekend, and just listening to you and being in your presence, you've just mastered so much of life that really has awakened the potential, not only obviously of yourself, but for those around you and the world around you in particular. And I'm in awe of how it all has come and unfolded for you. So I'm curious, before we delve into the present, what do you like, what you play with as a child? Like what were you doing early in life?
Well, God, you're going to ask me to go back to a place where I have long denied my life.
Good stuff.
So when I was very young, I had autism. So I had autism till I was 28 years old. I'm one of about 0.4 people on the planet that have ever broken out of autism. So I'm a miracle child. I had a dramatic white light experience that changed my life in an instant. And
Oh,
I'm talking about it in an instant. So one moment I was 28 years in this painful dark kind of place without any awareness of anything. And then the next moment I was totally aware. I was a whole being and I could see, I could hear, I could experience energy in a way that, was like a download of 1,000 times the energy of an autistic person. And my best analogy for that is like I was sitting, like if you were in Japan and sitting in a trailway or train station, railway station, and the bullet train went by, and you grabbed onto one of the side rails. I held on for dear life, and it was like that's how much download the energy was. And I mean, I was just, oh my God, it just totally revamped me for hours and hours and hours. So, and then all of a sudden I became a different person and had none of the symptoms of autism again. I didn't have the lack of awareness. I didn't have the pain. I didn't have the self. In fact, my ego was totally destroyed, so I had no ego, and I didn't have that. And I was clear about everything that I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, and what my purpose on this planet was. So one of the purposes I have on this planet is to elevate, empower, and excel other human beings, and especially at this point, women, because of my book, Badass Bitches of History. 31 unconventional, strong, defiant, positive women that changed the world. And they did, every single one of them. Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, Margaret Thatcher, Taylor Swift, lots of different women, 31. And the 31st woman is you. Whoever's listening to this, you're the 31st woman to change the world. So you just have to pick up on the principles. It's all a historical review and great stuff. And we have a companion book. We have a 60-day journal that keeps you in the flow. And that's really nice. I didn't bring the book in front of me, but I do have.
I have, yeah, right here. I got mine. Wow. Check that out. Check that out. Wow, Harrison, that's amazing. I did not know that about you. And I'm just even more in awe. I mean, obviously, we jumped really fast ahead, but it's all perfect because I really got that's your superpower.
Yeah, it is my superpower. And I, I think that people have to have two major elements involved in beside their personal, growth process. They have to have an intellectual depth to explore different areas of life and business or whatever it is that their passion is going to be. And the other one would be about having a sense of humor. Because if you're not going to be funny or you're not going to be fun, all of it is for naught. I-
Exactly.
Making money and being empty, what's that? That's crap, you know, or as they say, shit.
Exactly. Well, I got to experience your humor this weekend, and it was funny for sure. And it was also just inspiring just watching you move through the crowds and conversing with people. And it was like, wow, with such ease and flow. I loved it. I
Yeah,
love witnessing that. And
I I love that. And I saw you do that too. So I mean, there was no delineation there. You were doing that as well. We were all doing that. So it was great. And we got to meet with some of the highest profile people in the world, not just in our country, not just in our locale, but in the world. It was wonderful. Yeah.
what I really
Rockefellers, the
liked about that,
Hiltons.
oh, sorry, there was a gap.
Yeah, the Rockefellers and the Hiltons and foundations of all different sorts. Good stuff. Wonderful stuff for everybody's enhancement. Yeah.
Exactly. I remember sitting there talking to Tony at one point, and I said, you'd strip away all of the names and faces. I mean, I don't know them all by name by any stretch, but they were all humanitarians and people with big
Everyone.
hearts. That's what I took away from that this whole past weekend. And it was like, wow, like it moved me. I was totally touched, moved, and inspired by the conversations I had, the people I was meeting, and so many of the people that I didn't meet that were there in the to witness. It was amazing. So thank you. Uh,
I would never have have assigned some of the kinds of quality to some of the people that we ended up talking to, as humanitarians and so on. I would have thought they had very, very different values, but they had very big hearts. Everybody had big hearts, was inspiring, was articulate, was, dramatically, enveloping and accepting of, everything that most people were doing to make a better planet. Yeah.
and that turns me on. I love that stuff. So
Yeah.
exciting stuff. But let's get back to you. Let's get back to you, and thank you for
Talk
that.
about something important. Me.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
our Beth does that. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
I'm fascinated with your story. I mean, let's face it, it's you've lived a fulfilled, fascinating life, right? And before badassy bitches came into fruition, what were you doing prior to that, and what brought you to this point, and why women?
Well, I have sort of a varied history, you know. during my school years, I was almost totally silent. I didn't even have a conversation with anybody till I was over 30, and because of the autism, other than a couple people like my brother and a little bit of conversations with my parents, but I couldn't even be in a room with other people because it was just so painful for me. And but I did graduate college. I went to college 4 years. I also and graduated as an education expert, so in art and English. I then taught at a university after 8 years of teaching in high school. I taught at a university, and there I also got my master's in psychology. And then I taught, psychology 101 and pop psychology. So those were two different things that I taught at the university level. When I wasn't making what I thought would be enough money, I went into the brokerage business. I went into the financial services business, and I became the director of marketing for a boutique brokerage, a small boutique brokerage. They found out I could write, and by that time I believe, had my white light experience. So, when I went into the brokerage, I was hired as a stockbroker trainee. Well, when they found out I could write, that I had an academic background, they asked me to do some writing for the brokerage, and suddenly the ads I wrote were phones were ringing off the hook, and the brokers didn't have to dial out to find customers. Customers were calling in from some of the ads I wrote. So they assigned me the director of marketing for that agency. And the first thing I did was I created a seminar series for them. Now, this was in Boca Raton, and in Boca Raton, the average financial seminar draws about 30 to 35 people. By the time I was done, I was having 600 people per seminar. So what happened was I brought the language. Oh, I shouldn't probably say this on the air. I brought the language of theater into the financial services realm. And, everybody else in Boca was drawing 30 people, and we were drawing 300, 600, and so on and so forth, because we made everything theatrical. We made it much more, intensified and entertaining than just the information. So that turned everything around. From there, I went into the movie business. So I was in the movie business for 3 years, and we had raised $32 million for a movie, and 9/11 happened, and all the contracts were pulled. So I
Mm,
went home and sucked my thumb and in a fetal position for about 3 months because I lost humongous amounts of money on that. And when I came back, I went into the motivational, inspirational business. I was the first, then I was always an idea factory, even in my autism, but I wasn't able to express it until I came into this, you know, marketing thing with the financial services. But um, when I came into the inspirational motivational field, I was the first guy. I pioneered the first tall summit to exist.
mm,
I did was I took the 12 people from the movie The Secret, which was so highly popular at that time. I think it sold several hundred million
mm,
copies. And I became friends with several of the people that were in the movie. And what I did, I had an idea that I would teach people how to make $1 million. And each person from the movie would take one part of the puzzle. One person would take lifestyle, another person would take marketing, another would take branding, another would take logistics, and so on and so forth. And the people from The Secret, each one had, kind of an hour interview on how to make $1 million and how they made their $1 million. And so we put that together, and we created a program called the Masters Gathering, and it was a super success. We had gigantic response to all the things that we did, and From there, I went on to several years of that, and then had the movie business. We raised the money for this movie, but the contracts were pulled at 9/11, and then after that, I've just been teaching and kind of playing for the last, I'd say, 20 years, 15, 20 years or whatever. So I've been a spiritual teacher and a evolution teacher. So teaching people how to evolve their consciousness into a place of high profile, high, money making also, and high intensive consciousness. So my enlightenment experience was what the Japanese call a satori. I don't know if you've ever heard that word, but it's
Actually, I really want to share this real quick with you because I heard you say that, I think over the weekend, when I got divorced in 2004, it began 2007, I got divorced. I changed my email address that was associated with my last name, which my married name was Rudolph, and I still had it because my children were really small then. I changed it to Satori58 at AOL.com. And it was a download for me, and I was like, yeah, new beginnings, man. From
yeah. So what the word satori means in Japanese, it means sudden enlightenment. And I don't think in the English language there's anything that says that other than, but in one word anyway, but it means sudden enlightenment. And I was like, it was like a lightning strike that it hit me, and my whole world was turned totally upside down, and it popped me out of autism like, it was like a dramatic explosion. So it was really something that I had never experienced before. I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't been spiritual. I hadn't even believed in God at that point. I didn't know what was going on, even all around me. I mean, two people could be talking to me, 2 feet away, and I couldn't even focus on what they were saying. So, it was a very different experience. Uh,
Oh,
and coming out of that was like my greatest analogy is that, when you build a skyscraper, you have to put the foundation as deep as you have the height of the skyscraper. And my foundation was being alone and isolated for 28 years. And I had an enormous amount of information inside of me that I could not have possibly expressed in the autistic state. And when I turned, I mean, it all came into complete clarity for me. So it was a very, very, different experience, and then, but more than that, my senses were enhanced. Food tastes better. My vision was clearer. Colors were more vibrant. I could see energy. I could actually see people's vibrational states. And all of that was a miracle to me. I mean, I had no concept of any of that prior to the moment that that happened. So I am a blessed human being. And so what I do know is that nobody gets blessed like that. Nobody gets an enlightenment experience like that without having to pass it on. So so I pass on as much as I can pass on to as many people as I possibly can.
I love that. When I was in my 20s, I had a near-death experience and saw the light. I didn't have the same energetic downloads that you had gotten from it, but I knew that I had higher purpose. And I've been living that purpose on purpose ever since.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things. But it has me be even more fascinated with your experience as to what was it, do you think, triggered it? Because that is essence is a miracle in and of itself.
Yeah. Well, I can only tell you that a quarter of a second prior to the experience, and it was like a lightning strike, a quarter of a second prior to the experience, I had the thought, what if all this is just a different form of love? And then bam, that happened. So I surrendered in that instance, and this amazing amount of love came into me. And, not to mention the drama of the experience of the explosion. I mean, it was so intense. I've never had anything like that happen. And so it came into me. But I think the trigger was that, for many, many years, subconsciously, I wanted out of that state of autism because it was so painful for me. I couldn't even be in the same room with my parents to watch television, it was so difficult for me. And when that happened, I was totally comfortable with any situation. I had no problem talking to a king or to a beggar, or to a street person, and doing what I do with all levels of societal growth processes and societal individuals. So, it turned an entire life into a kind of movement for the growth of other human beings, as well as, especially now badass bitches, especially women. So our mission in Badass Bitches and this particular movement, and I've had, many different kinds of programs that I've had over the 20 years and that I've been in this business professionally. But this is the mission is to empower, elevate, and excel women, millions of women, in order to have much more significant lives, unapologetically, confidently, and feel more alive in what they do without backing down in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
I love that.
Have
That's
too long
awesome.
been oppressed and suppressed and not given the opportunity or the equality that they need to make great things happen. And my belief is that at this point in the world, that the pendulum has swung. For the last 7,000 years, we have been, as a human race, an aggressive, male-oriented features. Society and all societies, and it's been because the Hebrews at one point, conceived God as a male human being and gave him the qualities of God, and we have worked on the male qualities ever since. But before that 7,000 years, in history, tribal and countries and all the human beings on the planet were worshiping the female. They were worshiping the female qualities, the nurturing, the fertility, the peace-loving process. And as all things do, everything swings back and forth. And I believe now is the time that the pendulum has swung toward women's energy being the more dominant force on the planet, and we are growing that as evidence of all these movements in LGBTQ or whatever, however you those letters are. I don't remember them out, but
Yeah.
also as evidence of the fact that there are more women CEOs than ever before. They're more powerful women than ever before. The women are making a name for themselves in every industry, from science to art to literature to athletics to everything. So now is the time of women, and I think the next several thousand years is going to be a woman's time. So it'll be the dominant energy. Not that the male energy will fall away, but that the female energy will be at least equal and will have greater influence than they've ever had before. And the influence that they have is a feminine quality, which is receptivity, which is nurturing, which is, giving, you know, here's an analogy that I like, you know, men give other men reasons to die. They have, I would die for this, blah, blah, blah. I would die for country, for this, for that. Women give men reasons to live. So, I want to live. I don't want to. There's no
Exactly.
concept on this planet I want to die for. I want to live. And that came from the beautiful women that have been in my life, including you, Karen. So all that. So yeah.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. So, was this, would you call this your major accomplishment up through now, or is there? I mean, obviously you've had a lot, but is this your favorite or like where are you with that?
With which my favorite accomplishment to this point has been, that white light experience and my joy that has transpired from that. My joy has been, limitless at this point. I am always in a good state of mind and a good state of being. So that's my favorite accomplishment. My frequency elevates other people. Just my frequency. I don't have to do anything. I just have to be in a place, and that elevates other people. And that's a great accomplishment. And I didn't do anything for that. That's just source moving, moving my frequency. So, I'm happy with that. The badass bitches thing was again another piece of lightning striking. And when I heard the name in my head, Badass Bitches of History, I knew I had to write that book. I knew that there was going to be a movement, and I have done everything in my power. Yes, thank you, Badass Bitches of History. You can get it on Amazon.
That's odd. I was just gonna say where. Great minds think alike. Oh, I
And
love
we have courses, we have newsletters, we have a TV show called Badass Bitches Unite. We're probably going to end up doing a documentary movie as about it as well. We have a dramatic team that has incredible accomplishments behind them. Women who have everything from a woman senator to a woman who speaks on health and wellness to the Harvard doctors and the researchers and stuff like that, and some psychotherapists and what were some of the other women? Yes, financial experts and so on and so forth. We're world class, everyone. And we're going to do a big retreat in Bali. We're going to do three retreats a year, and one in Bali, one in Costa Rica, and one in the Dominican Republic. So, so we're going to have some fun with a lot of very, very, substantial women and aspiring women who want to be substantial in the face of all great things. Yes.
that. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
I'm,
So
I'm
exciting.
excited. I wake up every day and I'm not, I am energized. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every,
that'll do it.
even if I'm exhausted, I'm energized.
And one handsome, brilliant, genius guy in the midst of all these women. I mean, come on, really, you can't beat those
That's
odds.
my idea of heaven when I, I went to a concert once with the Indigo Girls. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yes, I am familiar with them. Yes.
Yeah, they're lesbians, right? And very outspoken lesbians. And I went to a concert because I love their music. And I was one man with 4,000 women in that concert. I thought I was in heaven, baby. I
I
thought
bet
I
that inspired badass bitches, right? Oh, that's true. That's precious. I love that. I love that. So, what were some of the greatest life lessons you've learned along the journey so far?
Oh, well, great question. Um, One is to be unapologetic about who you are. One is about speaking your truth no matter what. One is about um, not worrying in any way, shape, or form what other people think of you. One is about non-judgment. So about never judging another human being. You can judge their actions, but not their dignity. You have to give them their dignity and their respect no matter what. Their actions may be horrific, but we still treat each other like we are brothers in flesh and in spirit, brothers and sisters in flesh and in spirit. Another one is, love increases every single day. So, um, another is, this is a self-reflective universe, and contemplation is the highest form of introspection you can do. And there is a sequence to being awake. That sequence, and this is one of my favorite things, that sequence is always attention, concentration, meditation, contemplation, awakening. That's the sequence. And if people
Love that.
understand the sequence, then they can move themselves through that process. So, the greater attention you pay, the more attention you're willing to put out, the greater becomes your internal and your external knowledge, and everything is done for you, not to you. So when you understand that, you are accepting of the way life is unfolding for you. Second thing is concentration. Most people believe that concentration is a narrowing of their attention and nose to the grindstone kind of a thing. No, concentration is the ability to relax and be able to keep awareness going in the relaxed state. So your awareness becomes wider and wider and wider as you go through your processes, whatever that happens to be, from cooking to writing a book to exercising to whatever. So that's concentration. And the relaxed state is much more powerful than concentration in the focused state. And then meditation is where you get a chance to, you know, um, receive from God. So you allow the downloads or the things of your subconscious to bubble to the surface so that you can get some indication of, what's going on that is above and beyond what you can see in the visible world. And then the fourth thing is contemplation, which is to really draw conclusions from all the information that has come to you in the other three states. And those conclusions then become, what is your relationship to a cup? What is your relationship to politics? What is your relationship to other people? What is your relationship to your car? And as you begin to respond and ask those questions dramatically, you wake up because the state of awakening is the state of discovery. And when you are in a state of discovery, everything is curious, everything is in awe. And we want to curate and we want to cultivate the state of awe. And that's how we awaken people. We want to cultivate their state of awe. And that's the discovery process. And that's what I teach. And that's how my life has unfolded for me. So,
I love that, Harrison, because one of the things I noticed when we were in the Hamptons together and we stayed in the same house with numerous other people as well. But one of the things I definitely was inspired by, because I'm a journaler, and I noticed you took yourself aside and you journaled. And right in the middle of everybody coming and going and everything else, which was amazing. I journal every morning and every night before I go to bed. What's your experience of journaling? Because I'm a big advocate of it for that very reason of creating the awareness and curiosity.
yeah, no, I think it's a great tool to increase your knowledge of yourself, and your knowledge of yourself is the knowledge of the world.
Mhm.
So, I do five things when I journal every day. Um, Twice a day. So in the morning, so I set my intention. The very first thing that I do is I set my intention for the day. And then I set how do I want to feel about those intentions all day long? What do I
Uh,
want to feel today? Then the things to do. So I have a list of things that to do, or I allow those things to do to come up, in my consciousness. And then at the end of the day, and then what did I feel at the end of the day? What are my wins? So that I go to sleep in an abundant state every night, so that I don't, I'm not in a state of lack or worry about finances or circumstances or, pain or body pain or anything like that. What were my wins for today? So that when I fall asleep, I am falling asleep in the state of abundance, which means I wake up in the state of abundance. And the state of abundance is a state of having plenty. So that's
uh,
what I do with the journaling. Yeah.
This is so awesome. We do actually have a lot in common, which is fascinating to me because I've been doing journaling for years and I resisted it for years as well until when I really
Well,
got it.
you can journal in just a couple of minutes in the morning and in the evening. It doesn't take all that long. It's just what it takes is just some concentration, again, open concentration on what you want to have happen and what you think are the important things that you want to feel, and then how do you do that? And what are the simple points that you want to do to make whatever your intentions are happen? Yeah. And if you do that, your clarity happens much more dramatically each single time you do that till you're in a state of clarity. And so the state of clarity is the probably the state of authenticity, and that's the highest vibration you can have other than gratitude and love. Those are the three highest vibrations there are. So, and joy, you know, joy, love, gratitude, and authenticity are the highest vibrations you can have. And make no mistake about it, vibration is what makes things happen on this planet. It turns the invisible into form, into the visible. So as long as you can deal with your own frequency in a way that's deliberate, you are a master of life.
Love it. Love that. So for the listening audience, Harrison, I always ask for my guests like pearls of wisdom. I call them pearls of wisdom. What would be the thing that you would like to impart on the listening audience that would raise their potential if they're sitting back, observing and not moving forward and knowing that they want to, or there's what would that pearl be for you?
I'll give you my favorite quote in the whole world. It was by Carl Jung. And the quote was, "He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens." And that is the truth of the way things actually happen. So you can deal with your dreams or you can deal with your awakening, and your awakening covers everything. So you are limited in your dreams in terms of the things that you may want to have happen because you have external ideas or self-images about what you can do. But internally, when you awaken, all that ego falls away and it strips away. And when the ego is stripped away, what do you have? Pure awareness and love. And awareness and love and energy, they're all the same thing. There's an equal sign between all of them. And that's the most important thing I think that a human being can do is to find their total awareness, find their holistic experience, being a whole human being, integrated in every way, your past, your present, your future, and um, all meshed into the understanding of where you are, where you're going, what you have done, and so on and so forth. And knowing that the present is the most important thing, but the future is what you become, and what you become is the joyous journey of whatever humanity you have within you.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you. And you have a gift for the listening audience, a newsletter. You want to tell us a little bit about it and all?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Go
So,
ahead.
the link will appear down beneath here when this is aired. But yes, I have my Badass Bitches newsletter. So I think really, in my opinion, every woman or every person should have a Badass Bitch newsletter. So
Absolutely.
because yeah, because badass bitches is a matter of mastering technique and form. It's a matter of harnessing your mental strength. It's a matter. These are the elements that are in the newsletter. Is building on your presence, building on your confidence. It is about making tough decisions. The elements are about challenging comfort zones, about standing up to criticism, about initiating change in yourself. And all these things that are involved in that newsletter, they're free for you guys. They're absolutely free. I'm just giving that out as a option for you guys. And this newsletter was created to embrace your badass bitch, whatever that happens to be. Mostly for women, but you guys, some of you guys are bitches too. So
Absolutely. I love that. And as Harrison said earlier, yeah, all of his contact information and all of that. Yep. Love it.
we
Will be
want
in the
to
show
make we
notes.
want to make you electric.
Oh, I love that. It's interesting because I'm going through some books now. I'm releasing, which is like it's tough. Badass bitches. That's it, man. Love it. Yep. I was honorary Wonder Woman and they gave me the shield.
Oh, nice.
I actually painted that once. Painted a picture of Wonder Woman, myself grabbing my internal child and grabbing her up on an arrow. The arrow kept showing up for me. It was fascinating. Well, we'll talk about that one day, someday, whatever. It was Wonder Woman, and out to make a difference in the world. So
Yeah.
people
I
have
like
given me
it.
cookbooks.
I love that. Gal Gadot did a great job at it. There's going to be a new Wonder Woman in the next Wonder Woman series that comes out. I think it's the daughter of somebody, but whatever it is, I mean, the whole idea of that superpower being raised by women, being connected to women by becoming a warrior in the internal and external sense, for something that's bigger and better than oneself is really a beautiful thing. So I'm all for that. I'm a woman's advocate in that way. So yeah. Wonder Woman is one of my idols here, and we do a bunch of feminine idols for badass bitches as well. And all the women that are in that book and all the women that are part of the TV program and all that, they're all Wonder Women. And they're all have really great things to offer, not just to themselves and not just to their own tribes, but to multiple cross-referencing tribes.
Right,
Uh,
exactly.
And that's what we do with Badass Bitches newsletters. We cross-reference a bunch of information from potent information from, some of the world's greatest experts, plus, our own experiences as well, some stories, and you guys can contribute to your own from your own experience. You can contribute articles and things that we will put in Badass Bitches newsletter if you'd like. It's totally free. The link will be at the bottom of this
Absolutely.
visual. So
Uh,
yeah, we'll have some fun with
Paris,
it. Yeah.
it has been an absolute pleasure, and I am so grateful for your wisdom, for your genius, for your contributions in particular, and just being who you are is amazing. So thank you, and I'm grateful you're in my life.
Thank you. I give you the immortal words of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, who said, "I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it."
Good thing I like rock and roll. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh,
Well, I'll also add the last thing. Some of you guys are old enough to remember the Three Stooges, but there was a guy by the name Curly in there, so I'll give you his immortal words too. Perfect. Everything's perfect.
Exactly. Harrison, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your insights with us. Your story is such a beautiful reminder that transformation begins the moment we become aware. And it continues with those brave, badassy steps we choose to take. And it is a choice. So, for our listening audience, remember that the bridge from ordinary to extraordinary is built with small steps of change and big leaps of faith. You are more powerful than you know. Keep showing up, keep raising yourself, keep awakening your potential. And if today's episode sparked something inside of you, let's explore more. Write the word awaken below. And remember, Harrison's information will be in the show notes. I'm always available. You get me when you reach out to me, you get me. You don't get anybody else answering your questions. So thanks for being here with us today. And until then, make it an amazing day.